futures MT5, right?
Yes, correct. Perfect. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Dominika Lach, and I am a client success specialist based in Cyprus, working for TC for a couple of years, and I'm taking care of Philip Future and Trading Central day-to-day relationship. Today, I'm here to tell you more about the market buzz, which is a refreshing take on financial news and analysis, which also was awarded most innovative new product at the Technical Award Analyst in May 2020. First of all, on the screen, you can see one of our other products, which is Trading Central Analyst Views Indicator, which you can find under Indicators, Trading Central Analyst Views. And I hope most of you are using it and are familiar with it. However, the hidden gem, the Market Buzz tool, is just beneath the indicators. You can find it under Expert Advisors, Trading Central. And now to open the Market Buzz, you just need to drag and drop to the chart. The small window will pop up. You just need to click OK. And another small window will pop up where you can find the tab TC Market Buzz. And the tool is loading. So we can extend the view a little bit. And I will now tell you more about this tool. TC Market Buzz solves the infobesity problem, which is too much news and social media and not enough time to digest it. TC Market Buzz helps you to easily spot which stocks and topics are buzzing, and it delivers a smart news experience so you can read less and know more. It's based on our proprietary natural language, and our algorithm named Felix is crunching and collecting the massive amount of professional news articles, social media posts, and individual blog published online every day to provide you with a concise, accurate view on what's buzzing in the market. In an instant, you can gain a reliable view on the crowd's impact on the investment idea, and you can follow the discussion easily. So when you open the page, that's the landing page, and you can easily discover what's buzzing. The bigger the bubble, the more online buzz there is. So you can clearly see that from all the bubbles, the biggest one is the Bitcoin. From here, you can zoom a little bit in, and we can see some other buzzing asset topics. For example, crude oil, another crypto, which is Ripple. When you just hover over with your mouse, you can see more details what bubble is exactly about. So this one is Hsbc, and so on and so on. Now, the unique setup for Philip Future is that when you open the bus, TC Market Bus, it starts with the theme Philip Futures. So you can see only the instruments that are available for you to actually trade on the Philip Future platform, MT5 platform. You can also see another themes. For example, we have a theme index, Australian index here. You can narrow down also what the universe of selecting the assets that are important for you. So, for example, if you are interested only in currencies, you can choose them from here. If you are interested in, for example, indices, you can click on indices, and then you're going to see the bubbles only related to the specific to the specific content. So these are only indices. If you are interested in stocks, you can also see the bubbles here on the stocks. Let's extend the view. And you can filter by more filters, by the time frame, countries, and sectors. So if you are interested in, for example, stocks from Australian market, you can just tick here and it will show you the news from Australian stocks here. Now let's go back to the main page. If you click through, so let's say we're going to click on the bubble, you're going to get the page where are different metrics like the history, the most discussed topics, how negative, positive the coverage has been, the split between news to social media, and you can also browse through the feed. So all the news related to the Bitcoin are here. You can click on the news, you can read like a short story, or you can click story continue and it will take you to the full article. If you want to see the overview, as I mentioned, here we have the news volume. So it's this number of the publications currently on the Bitcoin. Here is the split between news and social media posts. Orientation, so if the news is positive or negative or neutral. The topics, so the price gain is the #1 topic related to Bitcoin. And you can also see the volume history in 30 days regarding to news about the Bitcoin. Okay, so if we go back, you also have the possibility to build your own watch list. Here you have a watch list. That's my small watch list. You can actually click here on the here on the menu and open a watch list, and you can add the symbols from here, or you can create another watch list. So if you want to narrow down the search of the news to the specific instruments you are interested, there's also possibility of that. And last but not least, you can explore the news desk. So here are the latest news. You can discover top news from quality sources found by our EA. You can click on any article to read more. And you can also create your own feed. So if you are interested, for example, again, in specific subjects, you can add content. Okay, here I have a feed called Australia. So I just type a couple of assets related to Australia, and then I get the news only related to Australian markets. That's it from my side. I hope you will enjoy using TC Market Bus, and it's going to be helpful in your trading. And now I'm passing the microphone to my colleague, Ming. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for the sound issue that you heard earlier before Dominica came on. My microphone was too near the plastic bag which was on my table. I'm so sorry for the boo-boo. Hopefully, Dominica's wonderful voice and explanation of Trading Central Market Buzz made you forget all about those sound issues you had earlier. So, in a nutshell, the Trading Central Market Buzz solves the infobesity problem where you have so much of news and you're not sure which one you should zoom into. All right. To take us through the insights for indices and indices and shares for the US and Hong Kong markets rather is none other than our favorite analyst, Ming If you're all set to go, let me hand the reins over to you, Ming.
Sweet. I'm ready.
All right, you should see a
Okay.
prompt on your screen.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Over to you, Ming.
Okay, thank you, Sweet. And thank you, Philip Futures. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, almost we see each other once per month. And I'm happy to do that. As a professional analyst, I'm facing the market day and night. And I'm very happy, I'm very pleased to share with you what I have noticed in the general market and what it could be useful to you. Okay, so we start today's journey. Now, today it won't take you a lot of time. It will take around 30 minutes. Mainly, I'm going to talk about the macroeconomic background of the US market, and then I will talk about some US stocks, mainly US stocks, and then some Hong Kong stocks. Okay, and in between, I will share with you some technical indicators that you will like to learn and use. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, this is me. Okay, now the test. So this is a very hot topic. Last week, particularly on Thursday, last Thursday, we have a drop in the U.S. market. Well, around 1%, just 1%, due solely to this issue. So there are reports saying that President Biden, U.S. president, will increase tax rates. Okay, now he will, according to reports, he is going to propose increasing top marginal income tax rate to almost 40%. Okay, the most importantly, he will increase the capital gains tax rate of the wealthier US people to nearly 40% from 20%. It is almost a double in tax rate. Okay, for what? For spending in child care and education, blah blah blah. Okay, now I would like to tell you that it is first of all, it is a report. It is a reported proposal. So the president will propose this tax increase reportedly, and then the Congress, both the House of Representatives and the Senate, they will debate and argue and then pass, and then going back to the bill will going back to the president to sign into effect. In between, we have a lot of, we should have, I can tell you, according to my experience, they are going to negotiate hard, bargain, tug of war, and then at the end of the day, I can be very sure that the tax rate increase will be much smaller than this one, than this 40%. Okay, just like when you are selling your car secondhand, you want 5,000. What will you say? You will say, hey, I want 10,000, and then you bargain, and then okay, 5,500. Okay, deal. Something like this. Okay, same in this political area. Okay, so I can tell you, I'm not worried too much about this issue. Okay. Next, we're going to see the Federal Reserve. This is the tax rate. This is the Federal Reserve Central Bank's key interest rate. It is between 0 and 0.25% at the moment. This is Jerome Powell, the chief of Federal Reserve. What did he say? He said, hey, interest rate will be near 0 through 2023, 2 more years. Okay. He said inflation is not serious. That is exactly his saying. And then at the same time, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, raised their forecast of US growth to 6.5%. Okay, they are now seeing 6.5% growth this year. Before they say it was it is just about 4.2. Now they increase the forecast. They are very upbeat on the economy. Okay, at the same time, they are not going to see interest rate increase. So first of all, when you hear about this news, you will say, well, increasing growth, higher growth with economic recovery from the pandemic, and we are not going to see interest rate increase. This is a good point for the stock market. Okay. Next. This one is very classic. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, can you see the word here? Discontinued. This is the money supply, M2 money supply of the US. Okay, it has been issued by the Federal Reserve, the central bank, but now they have stopped issuing this data. Why? Look at this. Just last year, 2020, I can tell you the money supply in the US increased 30% alone in last year. Okay, so do you think the money supply will increase or decrease going forward? I will bet it will be increased, and it will increase a lot. And well, and the central banks say, hey, don't worry, it's not an issue. So I'm not going to issue further data on this one. You are not going to see this. Okay, just take a look of this one. This is very classic. Okay, next, stimulus. I remember last time when I did a similar webinar with Philip Futures at the end of March, I mentioned that that night President Biden will unveil a new trillions of dollars in infrastructure plan. Okay, infrastructure plan. At last, he said it will be worth around 2.3 trillion, big T again. Okay, they are going to use the money to build bridges, roads, airports. Okay, EV, electric vehicle. Okay, they are going to well, increase the broadband. Okay, blah blah blah. And they want to increase the number of jobs. Okay, they want to spend big money. And before that, already they signed a 1.9 trillion. Remember, 1.9 trillion, big T again, relief package. So every US person, citizen, they can get 1,400 US dollar check. Okay, and also they have other benefits extended. Okay, so you see, under these circumstances, they are spending money. They are spending. And do you think inflation will be not serious? I don't think so. Okay, inflation should be serious. And yeah, of course they are going to increase tax, just we mentioned before, to raise the money. Okay, so at the same time we look at the actual economy, the US economy, how the US economy is doing right now. Have a look. I have prepared some, gathered some information for you, so you don't have to do it. Okay, you don't have to do it. Let me do it for you. The jobless claims, it comes out. This number comes out every Thursday, and we can see that it is going down, dropping to the lowest level since the pandemic. Okay, very good sign. And then we can see retail sales, the biggest jump in 10 months. Okay, people have got, well, after getting the 1,400 check from the government, they spend. Okay. and this is consumer price. Well, in fact, look at this. It is already in March, its growth year on year is 2.6%. It has already reached the goal of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve set a goal of 2.0%. Okay, now it is going to 2.6% growth. And the Federal Reserve officials keep saying that they will be flexible. Okay, they will be flexible on seeing this consumer price number. Okay, so you have to keep it in mind. It has already reached the central bank's goal of 2.0%. Okay, next. Now this one is interesting. This is 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. Okay, in February, I can say in February and in March, we see some of the retreat of stocks, particularly those growth stock, or we say the technology stocks. They encounter a consolidation declining period in February and March due solely to this one. Because the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield keep rising, and it target at that time we say, hey, it will point to 2%. And what happened recently? It just peak. It just peak and going off. Okay, so it gives the stock market some breathing. I can say breathing space, and I can feel that. I can see that stock markets, the stocks just do not care. Just do not care. After the consolidation in February and March, the stocks just don't care. They just rise. Okay. Now we look at some major U.S. stock index. When you compare this chart or the following charts on index, U.S. index, with those charts I showed you in the last webinar, you can see that I have already increased. I have lifted the target already. Okay, because for the past month, okay, well, in April, the stock market was doing quite well. Okay, Dow Jones, this is Dow Jones Industrial Average, higher lows, you can see. Okay, now we are seeing it will target the 36,000 level. Okay, you can see S&P 500 index, same situation, higher lows, and we are now targeting the 4,400 level. Okay, and you can see here is some technical analysis. Now this one is a relative strength index. Normally we check the momentum of the stock market or a stock price using this RSI. We can see that, well, passing through February and March, we have a declining trend line, but now we are above it. Okay, it is a good bullish sign, a bullish signal. Okay, now maybe you are quite concerned with this one. Okay, the Nasdaq 100 index, mainly on technology stocks or growth stocks, we can say. What happened in February and March? We have a consolidation. I mentioned before, because of the increase in the 10-year Treasury yields. At that time, people say, "Hey, come on, it is not good. It is not good. The central bank, the Federal Reserve, is going to increase interest rates. It's not good. It's not good for stocks. It's not good for tech stocks." So what happened? We see that the Fed come out and say, "Hey, we are not going to. We are going to keep the stock. We are going to keep interest rate at 0 through to 2023. Okay, and we are seeing the 10-year Treasury yield dropping, peaking. Okay, peaking and then dropping, and then the market just tell you, not just I tell you, the market, look at this one, just tell you, well, it doesn't matter, they increase all the way. All right, now we are, for this index, we are looking at the big point at 10,000, 15,000 level. Okay, once before it dropped back to 12,000, and now very nice rebound, very nice. Okay, you see, also this one in between, this is a 20-day moving average, has crossed above the blue line, the thin blue line, 50-day. So 20 crossing above the 50, very good. Now, going forward, I'm going to talk about some stocks which you will be very interested. Okay, and but I would like to give you a warning first. I will talk about technical analysis, but read this. Well, I can confess to you, technical analysis does not predict the future. Okay, it is a lagging indicator, but it helps to identify patterns and show signal for getting in, getting out, and confirmation. Okay, and my warning to you and my advice to you is, don't trade with technical analysis alone. Okay, you have to take into consideration of what is happening in the macroeconomics, just like what I told you a minutes before about the situation of the central bank increasing or decreasing interest rates. The government is going to give out a lot of stimulus, or it will increase taxes on the rich people. Okay, so you have to take into consideration of all these factors. Do not just trade on the TA. Okay, I will remind you again and again on this point. Okay, and well, the foreign stocks I'm talking about, US stocks, are those that I have selected on the basis that you can find them easily on the Phillips Futures platform. Okay, you can trade them, trade those CFDs on Phillips Futures platform. Okay, and they are showing, those stocks are showing very good patterns. Okay, and yeah, and some interesting stories I want you to know about. Okay, so let's go. First of all, Facebook. You know what? Last time I set the target price 300 and 308. It just broke them. It just broke those targets. Okay. Now we are seeing Facebook is going through a consolidating period. At the same time, you can see the 20-day moving average is still above the 50-day one, and we can see the relative strength index, well, still above 50. 50 is the neutrality level, we say. Above 50, we say, well, the momentum is up. Okay, 60, 70, much better. Okay, so we can see it is still the technical configuration is still pointing to a bullish situation. So I have leaked the key support here. So let me remind you, key support, the blue horizontal line. Whenever it breaks, the stop price breaks below this key support level, we will be turning bearish on the stop. Currently, it is still, the stop price is still trading above this key support. We are bullish. Okay, so remember, and Facebook is going to is going to release result tomorrow. Okay, take a look of this. At the moment, we think Facebook will visit its previous high at around 315, and then go all the way to 326. Okay, Facebook. Pfizer, and yeah, beautiful. And last time, we set a target. We set targets at 36.8, 38 US dollar. Within a month, the stock price just broke those targets. But well, I have to, at the moment, I have to, well, advise caution in trading this stock. Why? Because the stock price is very close to the upper Bollinger Band. Remember, in theory, 99% of trading of the stock price is within these two Bollinger Band, the upper Bollinger Band and lower Bollinger Band. Okay, now it is close to the upper Bollinger Band, and well, the relative RSI is quite high. It's quite high, but well, let me see. It is not so high as compared to I prepared this slide maybe a few days ago. At that time, it was 70 something. Now it is 68. It's okay. So trade with caution. Okay, and yeah, this is Pfizer, and currently we think that the overhead resistance is at 40. It is on the upper Bollinger Band. We set this on upper Bollinger Band, and at the same time we raised the key support here, 36.8. Okay. Now 3M also looking very good. You see, it has emerged from this rising channel. Rising channel or bullish channel is a very good sign, even if it is trading within this rising channel. But at the moment, it has broken above the rising channel, and it is well, it is a good sign also. And I think it breaks. It has broken the $200 target we set last time. But at the same time, be careful. It is quite close to the upper Bollinger Band. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the relative strength index is still rising, is still riding on a bullish trend line like this. Now, in technical analysis, you have to be very good at one thing, in drawing trend line. Okay, we can draw trend line to the stop price, and we can also draw trend line to those indicators, just like in this case RSI. Okay, if the RSI breaks below, well, that will be another story. Okay, always trade with caution. Yeah, it broke $200 we said last time, and also we can see the rising 20-day moving average is providing support. Very nice support, very nice. Okay. Oh, tonight it will give well, quarterly result. Stay tuned. All right. So now we have moved the upper upside targets for 3M to 2009, 2016. Sorry, 209, 216. All right, too many numbers for me. All right, next one, Tesla. And last time I was bearish on this one. I say we have to see the stock price break out a key resistance to confirm a bullish reversal. In reality, for the past month, it did break above the key resistance and turning the short-term buyers very bullish. Okay, let's see. Now we see here we have higher lows and then we can see this crossover. Now, this one, look at this one. This crossover, we call it 20-day, 50-day crossover. It is frequently mentioned in those technical analysis reports. Okay, when you see this, you say, we can see that the short term is turning to be bullish for the stock price. Okay, yeah, is what I said. And for information, Tesla reported first quarter results last night. Okay, better than expected, But well, you know, even if a company report better than expected results, it doesn't mean it will keep rising. Sometimes people will take profit. Okay, well, buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, well, when the good results are realized, some trader will sell, but looking for the long term, and we are still well, bullish on this one. Okay, and also when you trade, when you look into the story of Tesla, I have to advise that one point you have to mind also is that it is involved in Bitcoin. Okay, Tesla say they will accept Bitcoin for payment for their cars. All right, and in the last night's report, they say they sold some Bitcoin, a portion of their Bitcoin. But well, well, in fact, I don't think it is a big deal, because going forward, they are selling cars, they are receiving Bitcoins, and they will have a lot of Bitcoins. So it is not easy now to be an investor, right? You have to look into the stock market, and you have to sometimes look into those alternative markets, so just like Bitcoin. Okay, we can see more and more company, mainstream company, just like Tesla, they are getting involved in cryptocurrency. Okay, this is a big trend, and well, I don't think no one can stop. All right, stay tuned. And Apple, same. Last time we were bearish. We say we have to see Apple break above a certain resistance level to give a bullish reversal. It did. Okay, so now it has turned up. Okay, now next technical phenomenon I would like to show you is divergence. At the same time, we see the stock price in this period are consolidating, declining, and at the same time, the RSI is telling you another story, rising. We call it divergence. Okay. Also, we have a crossover here. Okay. We call it a RSI bullish divergence. Okay. It is when the stock price is dropping, but the RSI is telling you another story, rising. You know that the drop will be limited, and soon the stock price will going up, just in this case, just like in this case. Okay. Now Apple is going to, tomorrow Apple will release earnings results, and two major points investors are watching closely. First of all, the iPhone sales, okay, the 5G iPhones, and also the App Store sales. Well, I can say market expectations are quite high on those sales. Okay, they say the sales were booming. Okay, and despite the pandemic, well, during the pandemic, people are using much more of these things, App Store and mobile phones. Okay, So now currently we are bullish on Apple. Overhead resistance 138, and we expect it to go back to its previous high at around 145. Okay, this is Apple. Amazon, all right, very good. We see the 20-day moving average is providing a very clear support here. Also, the relative strength RSI is well directed. We say it is well directed above 50. Okay, this is good. And the momentum, this point out that the momentum of the stock price is upward, still upward. Okay, remember back in last September, the stock price high was around 3,552. Okay, it is going to break it. It's going to break it. Okay, results will be released on Thursday. Stay tuned. Okay, so you can see that last time, in the last webinar, you were advised not to be very pessimistic, not to be very bearish on the stock, on the particularly those technology stocks. Okay, and then now we can see those big tech names are turning up. Okay, yeah, you know that. Maybe you know it better than I do. It is a crossover. Okay, Google, well, Alphabet. Okay, in February, March, it went through a quite not very deep consolidating period, consolidating phase. Okay, and it has just broken out and well going to a record. The stock price year to date from the start of the year now 31% compared to 11% growth of the S&P 500. Okay, we say it outperforms the market. Cloud business, okay, digital ads, particularly those on YouTube. Okay, well, you know that Google owns YouTube, right? Oh, tonight it will release results. Okay, so Google, we are seeing it going back to 2,500 level here. Okay, bullish. All right, Microsoft also a tech stock. All right, same in February, March. We saw a consolidating period, but not very serious. And then what happened? We have a 20-day, 50-day moving average crossover, and then boom, the stock keep rebounding. Oops, sorry, I make a mistake. Sorry. Microsoft. Okay. Yeah, again, record high stock price. Cloud computing, you see, we have a very bright shining spot in those business, just like in Google. Cloud computing. And mind you, this company has well, hundreds has billions, tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions of cash. It can buy, it can shop for companies that it like. Okay. Also tonight, well, maybe after this webinar, you will be kept very busy tonight, right? So this is Microsoft, another big tech name, bullish. NVIDIA, maybe you are not very familiar with this stock. I point this out because we can see that the semiconductor, it is a semiconductor stock. Okay, it makes chips, and the semiconductor sector has a lot of drama recently, and when it rise, the semiconductor sector rise, it outperformed those tech stock. But when it falls, well, it falls, it can punch a lot. Okay, I picked this out for you because this one is showing good sign. The level, I keep watching this level, my friends, 615, and I mind this level very much because it is a previous high we saw in February. Okay, it is running on and off at this 615 level. Well, once it depart clearly above from this level, well, we are seeing that it could jump into the 700 region. Okay. Well, yeah, from March low here up to now, 40%. Is that good for you? Yeah. As my warning before, we have to be careful when we see stock rising up to those upper Bollinger Band or lower Bollinger Band. Upper Bollinger Band, we advise not to chase. Or some say it is FOMO, right? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And yeah, we have to be cautious. At the same time, these stocks has some recently. These stocks has a story. ARK Investment, well, under the leadership of the lady called Kathy Wood, a very famous investor, professional investor. Well, when you type Kathy Wood on YouTube, thousands of videos showing her advice. Okay, and this ARK Investment, they make ETFs. They buy shares and turn it into ETFs. And she is very well. She like very much Tesla. Okay, she keeps saying Tesla will go to certain level. Okay, don't be afraid. And she has recently, the ARK Investment has recently bought Coinbase. Do you know Coinbase? The cryptocurrency exchange platform that was listed in the middle of April. Okay, ARK Investment also bought shares of Coinbase. Okay, but recently we have news saying that they are selling a portion of their shares in NVIDIA. So watch out. All right. If you like to follow semiconductor sectors, well, take a look of this one, NVIDIA and Intel. Okay, we have some. Visa, it is a financial stock. I point this out because it is running good and it has a lot of news following. Look like the stock price is good, huh? We have a good run, record high, just like the those big tech name. But this one, I remind you, this one is a financial stock, Visa. Okay, credit card. Okay, so credit card, or we say the traditional financial company, banks, credit card company, they cannot avoid one thing. They cannot avoid the development of cryptocurrency. So now recently, Visa reported that, announced that they are going to allow transaction to be settled with USD coin. USD coin, well, in fact, we call it a stable coin. Okay, it is a kind of a cryptocurrency that is packed one-to-one with the US dollar, and you can see the mainstream financial companies are getting into crypto. Okay, so this is very interesting. When you are facing the market day and night, you see the trend, the big trend. Okay, well, this year they will issue crypto credit cards also. Okay, tonight we are going to see its quarterly number. All right, not bad, not bad. So Visa, I hope you like it. Walmart, and look at this. It well, it has dropped quite a bit and touching the lower Bollinger Band. So be careful. And before I saw a crossover, 20-day, 50-day moving average crossover, and I was bullish on this one. And at the same time, I have increased the key support to this $135 level. Okay, it is around the 50-day moving average. Okay, well, as you can see, when you check again my charts, you can always see that we technical and analysts, we would like to set those key figures, those key level, key support or key resistance at those moving average or those Bollinger Band. Okay, or sometimes neither, we will set a key level just like this one. Previously, this level previously was a key resistance. Okay, and then now it becomes key support. Okay, online sales, well, thanks to the pandemic. Okay, and they also have a brick and mortar stores. Well, people, after getting the 1,400 check from the government, they spend necessity. Okay, and sorry, I have to mention this again. There has been rumor news saying that this giant supermarket chain has already purchased a big number of Bitcoin. Okay, and at one point it will allow people to pay the bill with Bitcoin. Well, this has been in the market. This news has been in the market for quite a long time, and well, when it is realized, I will tell you. I will tell you, and it is not just if it comes out as true, it will not just be a big news for the traditional mainstream companies like this one, Walmart. It will be also very important for the crypto world. Okay, so stay tuned. Wells Fargo, another a big bank in the US. See, we can see the RSI has already jumped across a declining trend line. It is a good signal. Okay, it has already released first quarter profits earnings. Okay, better than expected. Okay, net interest income, and well, this banking giant, well, has to slim down their operation. Okay, streamline their operations. Well, last year in March, we saw tumbling of almost all stock price, and well, very brutal. Now it has already exceeded those level we saw in March last year. The price highest. Okay, so it has Wells Fargo stock price has staged a very good rebound. Okay, now we set our key support here, 39.4. Okay, it's around the 50-day moving average. Okay, this is well, as you can see, how we move the key level, key support level, key resistance level, and how we get the signal from the RSI. Okay, draw some lines, and I can see on the Phillips futures platform, you can draw lines, you can draw trend lines, play around with this, you will be very good. And another mainstream traditional stock, Coca-Cola. Have a look at this one. In fact, it is still trading within a bullish trend line. Okay, and it has come back to the rising 20-day moving average. In fact, its first quarter result beat expectations. Not bad. Okay, and they keep their earning forecast unchanged. So still at low double-digit percentage for this year. Okay, full year. Okay, so this is how I view Coca-Cola. Well, it peaked. There is a very key overhead resistance at 54.9, as you can see here, the green line overhead resistance. Once we visit this level, and advance further, we are going to see 56.3 level, this one. Okay, and 52.2 is the key support, remember. Okay, so these are those US stocks that I would like to share with you. And now, next one, I think you are also very interested, because last time I received questions about this one, MACD. He said, hey, they say some members of the audience say, hey, Mr. Lam, how do you use MACD? What is MACD? Well, I've checked online, YouTube, internet. Some people just make it very, very complex. But for me, MACD is just two lines. Okay, the MACD line. Well, if you like to get into mathematics, you can. But I don't want to make it so complicated here today. So I just want you to know that there are two lines. You remember, just remember two lines. MACD line, we call it fast line, and it's signal line. Okay, MACD line, in fact, is a difference between two moving average. I can say that. And the signal line is just a moving average of the MACD line. Okay, is it very complicated? Okay, forget it. Just remember two lines, MACD line, signal line. How to use it? The most important point is how to use them to generate signals. Now, whenever we are talking about indicator, a technical indicator, the purpose is we are going to use them to generate signals, whether it is entry signal or get out signal. Okay, now don't look at the words, look at the charts. Whenever I talk about MACD, I must show this chart. Okay, this chart is, for me, is the most important for MACD. This is a daily chart. Yeah, daily chart. It shows the recovery and the low point of the stock market back in the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Okay, I just told you a second before, just focus on two lines, MACD line and the red one, signal line. Whenever we see a crossover, the MACD line cross above the signal line, it is bullish. Okay, or people would like to read a histogram. Okay, histogram, same thing, I can tell you, is the difference between these two lines. Whenever it turns from negative here to positive, it is good thing. Okay, well, it this chart can tell you that MACD points out exactly the recovery of the stock market. This is Dow Jones Industrial Average, US stock market, okay, in March 2009, okay. This is a low point. This is the crossover point, or in histogram, we see it as a 0 point, okay, from negative to positive. Watch this, okay. This is what I want to point out, okay. I give you two more examples today. Visa, we talked about before. Can you spot some good entry point? Yeah. Now, if you don't like to look at the crossover, hey, look at the histogram. We call it histogram. Negative, 0, positive. It is an entry point. Okay. Next one. Negative, 0, positive. Okay. Sometimes we call it red. Generally it is deep red and then pink. Pink means the situation is improving, and then boom, we have green. Okay, green means bullish. Okay, same here. We have I can say, according to my experience, MACD is good for longer time frame. Don't use it on 1 hour charts, 4 hour charts. Try to use it on longer time frame, daily chart, just like this one, or more. I would like to use it on a much more longer time frame, like weekly chart. Okay, longer. It is I don't suggest using it for day trading, honestly. All right. Another example I've prepared for you, 3M, okay? Can you spot where we should enter according to MACD? Correct, here, all right? But there is one drawback. Is MACD, you can use it to pin down entry point, but not sometimes very good at exit point, okay? For exit point, we have to use other indicators together, just like we use MACD and RSI together. This maybe we will talk about in the next webinar, something like this. Okay. At the same time, I will show you another tricks here. Can you see the histogram? Look at the histogram. Can you see 3M year to date? The drawback, the negative of the histogram, okay, is shallower and shallower. Watch it once more. This negative slope, or negative, I can say, negative region of the MACD is getting shallower. Okay, it is a good sign that the stock price is gaining momentum to the upside, and it is getting more bullish and more bullish as well as it can be shown in this case. This is stock price. Okay, keep rising. Okay, this is another observation that I have made, and I would like to share with you. All right, so sorry, I have to be long guest again. Do not trade with TA alone. Okay, so you have to combine with the macro, with the fundamental. Okay, or what you should do, you should stick with this Philip Futures webinars. You check out, well, what time you have the next webinar from the Philip Futures, so you can learn from those market participants. Okay, so this is what I have to show you about the US stocks. Following, I will show you a few major Hong Kong stocks. Maybe you are not interested, maybe you're interested. Well, let's have a look. Relative to the US market, I can see I'm based in Hong Kong and I watch also the Hong Kong market every day. And I can say the Hong Kong market does not have the dynamic momentum as in the US stock market. Well, in the past, we can see the US stock market was leading the Hong Kong stock market. That is, well, at night time when we see the US market is rising, and then in the morning we can be quite sure the Hong Kong market will follow. But I don't know why. It seems not to be the case at the moment. Maybe I know. One reason is that nowadays the Hong Kong stock index, the Hang Seng index, is mostly consisting of stocks of Chinese company. Sometimes the Chinese company they are not in the same stage as those US company. That is, even though some US companies may be doing well, those Chinese company may not be doing the same. Okay, this is one reason. Here we can see that we have well, it seems like a head and shoulder, but recently head and shoulder pattern, head and shoulder reversal pattern, to speak it clearly. Whenever we see this pattern, stock market will be reversing to the downside. But now recently we have a mild rebound, I can say, and we say we have to see this key resistance, 29,500, this line, key resistance. We have to see this key resistance broken to confirm a bullish reversal. But now, until then, we are still bearish on Hong Kong market. Okay, we say we expect it to revisit its previous low at around 27,500. Okay, this is the current situation. Stocks, big stocks, Alibaba. Well, maybe you know it better than I do. Recently, this company has a lot of news. Okay, let's look at the technical first. We have a declining trend line from November. Okay, still intact. Okay, that's why we are bearish at the moment. Key resistance 241. Okay, recently it has been found by the Chinese authority 18.2 billion yuan. Okay, not a small number. And some investors say the uncertainty overcasting Alibaba has been removed. Is it a good time to buy or something? And well, we look at the chart. We have to say at the moment the key resistance is still intact, and we are still bearish at the moment. Okay, and we have news that Charlie Munger is a long-time partner of Warren Buffett, has just invested in his investment fund, has just invested in Alibaba. Okay, and same, we have to stick to the chart this moment. Okay, next one, another heavyweight in Hong Kong, Tencent. We have not seen a very sustainable rebound since it making a high in February. Okay, we are seeing what? Lower highs. Not good. And you know what? The price is around 20-day moving average, but another bad sign is bad signal is this 50-day moving average is turning downward. Okay, and capping the stock price. So we have to see a break above 660 to confirm a bullish reversal. But meanwhile, Meanwhile, we say it stands a higher chance of getting down to 555, 53. Okay. Why? There is a saying that after Alibaba being fined 18 billion yuan, maybe the next one, maybe this company. We don't know, but people are just scared. Okay, and well, let's see. This is Xiaomi, and it is a mobile phone maker in China. Okay, we are seeing a good sign of upside triangle. This we call it upside triangle. Upside triangle. After breaking from an upside triangle, the breakout is always to the upward. Okay, but you know what? We have to play safe on this one and exercise a high caution. So we leave our key support to 24.1 Hong Kong dollar. Okay, and we set a quite tight stop loss of this one because we have been experienced quite a big drop of these stocks. Okay, and this is why we have to, relative to other stocks, we have to keep a rather tight stop loss at this one. Okay. Yeah, the company has just announced that they are going to engage in smart electric vehicle production. Well, let's see. So always stick to your key support. Okay, 24.1. Okay, another one, maybe I think you are not quite familiar with this one. Link REIT. I know that there are quite a number of REIT in Singapore, and but in Hong Kong, the most famous, and I think this is the longest. This one has the longest history in Hong Kong. This may be the first one, maybe the first real estate investment trust in Hong Kong. Okay, REIT Link. It's good. Look at this. The pattern is good. Okay, the pattern is good. We are seeing a breakout, a long-term breakout from a long-term consolidating pattern. Why? This REIT, it holds a lot of shopping malls in Hong Kong, and if the pandemic phase, okay, we are getting better and better. Well, we are seeing more and more people, shoppers, in those shopping malls, and well, this is why this share link rate has been rising recently. Okay, well, in fact, it has already climbed over 30%, rebound 30% from November low. Okay, we are still bullish on this one. Overhead resistance, $77 Hong Kong dollar. Okay, at the same time, we have raised the key support to 69.5. Okay, this is link rate. All right, so and I hope you will like all these a brief introduction of those stocks, and I give you a brief conclusion. As you can see, we are still bullish on US stocks. Okay, we have all kinds of money printing, stimulus, and zero interest rate. Okay, well, mind you, not just look at the technical analysis, also look at the capital flow. Okay, even I can tell you, according to my experience, even those stock price are heavily stretched to the upside, even above the upper Bollinger Band. Sometimes when capital flow, particularly those capital flow from institution, from financial institute, big Wall Street firm getting into the market, those stock price can even rise further. Okay, even if it is heavily stressed already. Okay, mind this, please. And Hong Kong, we are a little bit cautioned. Okay, you don't know what will be the next policy influence will be. Okay, and this one I mentioned this last time in the last webinar, and I have to remind you one more time. Let me say one more time. I don't know if you know it or not. We are seeing not a very friendly relationship between the U.S. and China. Okay. Well, last time when we have President Donald Trump using all those strong words against China, okay, that at that time it was bad. Okay. Now, even if we have a new Biden president, we don't see the situation improve much. Okay, so if you are investing in Hong Kong stocks, you have to keep this in mind. Particularly, you have to watch closely the U.S.-China relationship. All right. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions?
Ming, we have one question as of
Yes, sir.
now. I'll read it out to you very shortly. In the meantime, members of the audience, if you like to send in your questions, you may head down to the question box and type them in there, and we'll try and pick out 2 or 3 questions before we end the session. The first question is from Ray. He's asking, what are your thoughts on Meituan? I believe that's a share CFD that is offered on the MT5 under Hong Kong.
Sorry, which one?
Meituan.
Meituan.
Yeah.
Meituan. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Ming.
Yeah, Meituan. Got it. Okay, Meituan. Now I've got out this chart. It is on a recovery. Now let me also use those technical indicator that I mentioned in the webinar. Right. And what else relate? So all right, great. So Meituan, we are seeing, well, the MACD is showing it's a high position already, but I am a little bit concerned about the can you see okay, here. Well, we are seeing the relative strength index here. It's going well from is going down from the very overbought region. Okay, turning back. At the same time, the stock price is, well, it has a higher low. I'm afraid this is a bearish divergence. Okay, a bearish divergence. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at the moment. Okay, so if you say you're going to is it a good entry point? Sorry, I don't think so. Okay, be careful. Yes.
All right. We have next question from Fabian. How do you see the Chinese semiconductor sector? I believe it's 3191 ETF. I believe, Fabian, we might need more info on that. We'll come back to your question, okay? Maybe you can send us more details.
I can. You mean the Chinese, right? Chinese semiconductor sector.
Yes, Ming. Do you have insights on that?
Yeah, I am following quite a lot of stories regarding Chinese semiconductor sector, and not good. Frankly, it is not in a good shape. Why? Just a few moments ago, I mentioned one key point: the China-US relationship is not good. But you know, the most advanced technology, semiconductor, is in the US, and if these two countries are not in good terms, I think the Chinese the semiconductor sector in China, well, could not have a very good time. That's all I can say. Okay.
All right, on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is from May. What's your view on banks listed in Hong Kong, such as the BOC and HSBC? Both should be on the MT5, I believe.
Yes, sir. I can see them. Let me pick them out. BOC, China. Here we go. I remember some, yeah, not bad. And okay, wait for a moment, and I get in some MACD, just we learn, and relative strength index. Well, but Sri, can you see that the MACD is the histogram is getting to approaching the zero mark, and again I have to say it is not showing very good momentum, and entry point at the moment, sorry, I'm afraid not. Okay, you want me to show also HSBC?
Yes, Ming.
Yeah, HSBC here. Let me, yeah, okay. So MACD, relative strength index. On the contrary, HSBC looks better than those Chinese banks, I think. The MACD has just turned from negative to positive, and also the relative strength index is very well directed, above 50. So looks better, Sri. It looks better. HSBC.
All right, there you have it from Ming. Based on his views, HSBC looks like a better prospect than BOC.
Yeah.
All right, this is more of a general question. Coming back to Fabian, with the bad US and I mean, with the not so warm and cordial relationship between the US and China, shouldn't China double down on research and improve their semiconductor technology, maybe for a longer term play? Anything from the markets or based on what you see? Do you have insights on this?
Well, it is easier said than done, Sri. Um, you have to understand that US is still the big brother of those technology. I can say most of the technology you touch in the world. So can China develop in the long run, develop semiconductor or new technology on its own? Yes, I don't doubt about it, but it will take quite a long time. It will take quite a long time, and at the same time, you have to compete. Remember, you have to compete with those competitors from the US. So not easy.
All right, Ming. Okay, we have two more questions before we end this session.
Okay.
What is based on the typical trends for sector rotation? Tech stocks look good currently. but would they go back to the highs of the start of 2021, or should you be looking at other sectors for the next 3 to 6 months?
Oh, there's a good question. There's a good question. And recently, I can see that the momentum of those tech stock is coming back. It's coming back, and you can see those the index has got more firmer. The rebound of the NDX, the Nasdaq 100 index is much more pronounced than the two others, industrial, Dow Jones Industrial and S&P 500. And I'm quite bullish on those tech stock. I keep being bullish on those tech stock. And well, as I mentioned before, those stock price, you see it is ridiculously high above upper Bollinger Band. But with this kind of quantitative easing, QE, and we have stimulus, we have zero interest rate, people just pile money in. And you know what? Those tech stocks give you a very good prospect into the future. Hey, I make electric car. Well, maybe I will send rockets into the Mars and something like this. Solar energy, blah blah blah, and it makes very good stories for investment. And so I keep being bullish on tech stock. Okay, but at the same time, good question. What will be other sectors that I will look upon? I can say financial. Just showed you Wells Fargo. Okay, good move. And those financial stocks you have to keep an eye on because they are having a relatively attractive valuation. Okay, when I see it, those experts in Wall Street firms and those supercomputer will see it also. Okay, those financial stocks are having relatively attractive valuation at the moment, and so you should also have a look.
All right, the last question for you, Ming, is
Yeah.
apart from possibly SIA and SETs, stocks that are traditionally associated with travel in Singapore, are there any other stocks that would potentially benefit from the air bubble that Singapore is going to have or is planning to have with Hong Kong and is likely to positively impact, from the Hong Kong stock market? Like any stocks you think that will benefit from this, from Hong Kong?
Oh, good question. You know what? We are seeing fluctuating, the situation just getting volatile regarding the pandemic. Well, sometimes when we say the pandemic is fading, and the next day we have a number of cases, new cases. They call it variant, and at the moment, I'm not very keen on looking at those travel stocks, airline stock at the moment. Well, they will rebound, no doubt. I have no doubt they will rebound. But at the moment, well, you can see in India we have over 300,000 new virus case in one single day. So before we call it an end to this pandemic, I won't tip my toes in those stocks. Okay. And well, let the charts and let those, and well, I have to see the complete ending of this pandemic. Then I will look into those stocks. Okay. Otherwise, we will only see maybe fake breakout. And why don't you look at those stocks that are on a solid ground and on a solid footing? Okay. This is my advice.
All right, thank you, Ming Lam, for your valuable insights.
Thank you.
And Dominica, thank you for walking us through the Trading Central Market Buzz.
Thank you very much for your time.
And to our wonderful audience, thank you for forgiving my boo-boo earlier. And thank you for all the wonderful questions that we had today. And rest assured, we will bring back Ming Lam and Dominica too. For our next session next month, details will be announced closer to the date. Do look out for it. And if you have any other questions, or rather, if you like Ming Lam to touch on specific topics in the next webinar, just let us know in the survey form after the webinar. All right, and give us some topics and titles to suggest, because we've been bringing Ming Lam back almost every month. He could use some ideas as well. So let him know what you like to hear about, and we will forward your points and notes to him. All right, thank you for being a wonderful audience, and we'll catch you at our next webinar. Good night and take care.
Thank you. Good night.